The county school district has a new top leader. We will have more details on who he is coming up on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Patricia Valone with a CTV News update. Our top story tonight is an update on the deadly shooting at Washington National Cemetery yesterday, but first we head to Bowie. A suspect is now in custody after Bowie High School was put on lockdown earlier today. There was heavy police presence at the school, including state, county, and local police. According to investigators, the suspect was seen near the school with a long rifle. There are no reports of anyone injured. And police have made an arrest in that deadly cemetery shooting yesterday. This is the alleged gunman, 48-year-old Wilson Chavez of Hughesville. He's charged with killing 30-year-old Ronald Banks of the District of Columbia and injuring a woman. Banks was a pallbearer at the funeral for 10-year-old Ariana Davis, who was shot in D.C. on Mother's Day and who died 3 days later. According to investigators, Chavez, who owns the funeral home performing the service, confronted his two victims during the funeral.
What we can tell you about these two individuals, that they were not directly related to the funeral of the 10-year-old girl. We believe that this was a dispute totally unrelated to what was going on with the funeral, the circumstances leading up to the funeral, the circumstances to the investigation in D.C. This was totally independent of that.
Now, in fact, police say that they are affiliated with another funeral home with which Banks has a dispute. The suspect fled in a car but was taken into custody during a traffic stop. He faces a slew of charges, including murder and attempted murder. Well, the county school district finally has a new CEO. CTV's Katira Jones is outside the Curry Administration Building with more details.
That's right. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks announces Millard House II as the new PGCPS CEO. House will replace Dr. Monica Golson as she is set to retire at the end of this academic year. Now, the 51-year-old just recently stepped down as the superintendent of Houston ISD just before taking on this new leadership job here in the county.
Mr. Millard House II.
After a month-long search, House has become the school district's new leader. The Oklahoma native has worked for years in education in his home state, as well as North Carolina, Tennessee, and most recently Houston.
I think anybody's priority as a leader or even a community member is ensuring that you have a healthy educational institution to educate our students in. Because quite frankly, it is about the vitality of a community.
House, who will take on the job on July 1st, will get some help during this transition phase from outgoing CEO Dr. Monica Golson. She has agreed to stay on for the next 90 days, however, not in a leadership capacity.
So for the first time, I've created a transition guide that I will be able to present to Superintendent House when he starts July 1. And the Board of Education thought it was important that for the first 90 days that he be able to reach out to me and us kind of talk through everything that will take place over the next school year.
State law requires that the new CEO must be picked from a list of 3 candidates that were selected from a 3-person committee picked by the governor. Although none of the 3 candidates were from Prince George's, Alsobrooks is still happy with her selection.
In this moment, I feel comfortable with the result of this search. It yielded a professional-like CEO House.
Now, House, who is married and a father of 2, says his daughter will remain in Texas and go to college in Austin, and his son will be enrolling as a 6th grader in PGCPS. Katira Jones, CTV News.
And House says that his parents were longtime educators back in Oklahoma. He also earned his bachelor's degree from the University of Montevallo in Alabama and earned his master's from Northeastern State University in Oklahoma. Well, Prince George's County, along with large portions of the state, is under a code red alert. The haze, which has lingered over our area for days, is from massive wildfires in Canada. Code red means the air quality is considered unhealthy. It could cause problems for people with asthma or other respiratory conditions.
So especially those who may have lung issues or asthma or any heart conditions, you want to make sure you take the proper precaution. And that means staying indoors if you can, avoid outdoor activities, and if you can, wear a mask.
And health experts say if you experience any adverse symptoms due to the air quality, call 911. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, U.S. Senate candidate David Trone speaks before a group of Prince Georgians. We'll have that story and more in just a moment.
We are for pets. We do anything for them because they do everything for us. We are for people, for those who love pets unconditionally. We are for good, from adoptions and veterinary care to disaster relief and fighting pet hunger. We stand together to create a better world for pets and families in need. We are PetSmart Charities, for pets, for people, for good.
Welcome back. Well, a U.S. Postal Service worker pleads guilty to conspiracy to commit bank and wire fraud. The suspect is 28-year-old Brianna Cartledge of Clinton. Investigators say Cartledge created fake checks using information from mail she intercepted while working as a postal clerk. The suspect faces 30 years in federal prison when she is sentenced in October. But two motorists are facing dozens of charges in connection with a highway crash that killed 6 construction workers in March. 54-year-old Lisa Lee of Randallstown and 20-year-old Malachi Brown of Windsor Mill face more than 50 charges. They include negligent manslaughter, aggressive driving, and speeding in the March 22nd crash on I-695. Investigators say both vehicles were traveling at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour. Lee's car struck the vehicle driven by Brown, causing it to go through a gap in the highway barrier and into the workers, killing all 6 of them. Lee, who failed to appear in court, also faces charges of driving while impaired. Well, members of the Latino Democrats of Prince George's County got to hear from one of the candidates for U.S. Senate. David Trone spoke before the group last night during a dinner at Riviera Tapas Bar in Riverdale.
One of the things we do a lot is we focus really hard on our district. So in our district, we have advisory groups for Latino, Muslim, African American, Jewish, everything. All those advisory groups we meet with and say, what's important to the community? We want to listen. We want to know what's important. Then we can act on it. But you know your community, and we need your community to tell us what's broken and what some of those solutions are.
And the next meeting will be virtual on Saturday, June 17th at 10 a.m. when the 2023 legislative report will be heard. Delegates Joseline Pena-Melnick and Denny Taveras will deliver that report. Go to ldpgc.org for more information. Well, Anne Arundel officially joins other jurisdictions that have banned plastic bags in the county. Beginning in January of 2024, grocery shoppers in Anne Arundel must either bring their own reusable bags or pay 10 cents for a paper bag. The measure passed in County Council on Monday night. Proponents of the new law point to the 550 miles of shoreline that can become littered by plastic waste. Disposable plastic bags are often blamed for trapping fish, birds, and other wildlife. Plastic bags are also banned in Laurel and Tacoma Park. And still to come, we bring you a gentle giant for our pet of the week, plus Simon Buggs with sports.
Hey everyone, and coming up soon, 2 UMD coaches get recognized for the team's great season and also the results of the Orioles and Nationals games that were played yesterday. Stay right there.
So you did a thing. And then you did another not so good thing. But it turns out the person who asked you to do the thing is actually someone else. And now they're threatening you. There's no need to panic. There is help here for you. Report now. Oh, and don't do that ever again.
It's now time to meet your pet of the week, along with some tips on keeping your pets safe during the Code Red Air Quality Alert.
This is Milo. He is a 5-year-old husky. He's been here since May 8th, and he's just looking for a forever home. He decided he wanted to be a little escape artist, and he escaped, and his owner basically didn't want to get him back. That does not mean there's anything wrong with Milo. Milo is very gentle, very sweet. Milo is neutered, so he doesn't have to get fixed. But yeah, I can tell, like, when I walk him and stuff, he doesn't pull on a leash like other dogs. He's like very, he listens to what I say. So if I tell him to stop, he stops. If I tell him to go, he goes. So yeah, he's very good on a leash. Also, if you see that the air outside is like poor quality, don't go outside. Don't take your dog outside. Things like coughing, nasal discharge, or just gagging, when you see things like that, or watery eyes. If you see watery eyes, you should definitely check that out and see if something's wrong with your pet.
And if you'd like to adopt Milo or any other pets, you can call the number on your screen.
All right, everyone, it's time for your Wednesday sports page. We'll start with some tennis. The UMD women's tennis team had a good season this past year, and that was recognized as head coach Katie Dougherty and assistant coach Ruth Seaborn were named ITA Regional Coaches of the Year. This comes after the Lady Terps put together another winning season, going 17-9 this past year. The coaching duo led the team to a second consecutive Big Ten tournament second-round victory, taking down Penn State 4-2. And the Lady Terps 17 wins ties for the second most in a season in the program's history. Switching to the major leagues, the Nationals were in action yesterday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Washington started the game off strong, ending the first inning ahead 4-1 thanks to a grand slam hit by outfielder Stone Garrett. But the Nationals struggled to pull more runs together after that, only scoring one more time. The Diamondbacks would eventually get back in the game, taking the lead in the fifth inning and never looked back. The final result of the game will be 10-5 in favor of Arizona. This is the third game in a row that the Nationals have dropped. They will try and get back in the win column as they face off against Arizona again tonight at 7:05. Moving on to the Orioles, they also took the Dime yesterday. They began their series against the Milwaukee Brewers. The game was a close one as it was tied at 3 going into extra innings. In the 9th inning, neither team would score, but in the 10th inning, Brewers outfielder Joey Weimer was at bat, and he would hit an RBI to left field, allowing Andrew Monasterio to score a run. The final score will be 4-3 in favor of the Brewers. The two teams will match up again tonight at 7:40. And that is your Wednesday sports page. Simon Bugs, CTV Sports.
And now let's get a quick check on your 3-day weather forecast tonight. Still a bit hazy with a low near 56. Tomorrow, more haze with highs around 77. Friday, mostly sunny, a chance of showers and highs around 76. And Saturday, bright and sunny, highs will be near 82. Now for your community calendar, you can join the Maryland Physicians Care Organization for the Ready to Be Healthy Youth, Family, Fun, and Fitness Fest. Get the opportunity to speak with representatives about qualifying for Medicaid coverage. The event will take place Saturday, June 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Arc of Prince George's County. For more information about the event, you can visit marylandphysicianscare.com. And before we go, our photographer was able to capture a few photos of the strawberry moon, even in the midst of the smog from the wildfires. The moon is in the waning stages and is a reminder that summer is right around the corner. That's all for us tonight. Join us again tomorrow evening. Have a great night.